Now, a few weeks ago, I spoke to a young doctor. He's a brilliant young man, hardworking and fully qualified as a medical doctor. And he told me something that stayed with me. Doc, no one prepared us for this part. That is what he told me. He wasn't talking about the exams, neither was he talking about the ward rounds, but the uncertainty that comes after graduating from medical school. And that's when it hit me. We've been having wrong conversations about medicine for a long time. Because for years, the question has always been, can you make it through medical school? That has been the question for a long time. But today, the real question is different. We are asking what happens after graduation or graduating from medical school. And even more importantly, is studying medicine. And let's be honest with each other. For the longest time, medicine has been seen as the safest career, number one. Number two, it has also been seen as the most respected career, the most secure career. So you study hard, you become a doctor, and your life is set. And that was the promise that you were sold for a long time. And that really worked. But in 2026, in the current era that we are in, that story is starting to change. And quietly but significantly, we are seeing change in that particular story or that particular promise, whichever you decide to look at it. And today, we are seeing something we were never prepared for. We are seeing young doctors, they're graduating and waiting. They're waiting for internship, waiting for opportunities to show up, something that wasn't common back in the days. So they're waiting for direction. And in some cases, they're trying to figure out what comes next after school, something that was unheard of way back in the days. And this is where the discomfort actually comes in because nobody talks about this part. From the outside, medicine still looks perfect. uh, Talk about the white coats, talk about the stethoscopes, talk about the respect that comes with practice of medicine. But from the inside, many young doctors are asking themselves really tough questions. And this is one of the tough questions they're asking themselves. Did I make the right decision to study medicine? Did I make the right decision to study medicine? Now, before you go too far, let me be very clear with you. Medicine is still one of the most powerful professionals or professions in the world. You save lives, you make real impact, you carry knowledge that truly matters to humanity, and that has not changed. But what has really changed is the pathway. That is what has really changed. Now, we are training more doctors than ever before in history, but the opportunities have not expanded at the same pace. The opportunities that should be available for these doctors who are graduating has not expanded at the same pace. So what does that create? It creates pressure, it creates competition, it creates uncertainty. And here is where many people misunderstand the situation. And I want you to pay attention. They think that the problem is medicine. That is not the case. But that the real problem is this. We are still operating with an outdated definition of success within the medical profession. We're still operating with an outdated, something that worked years back. We are still operating with it as a definition of success. So for a long time, success in medicine meant one thing. You become a clinician. That was uh, tied to success in medicine. You work in a hospital, you do ward rounds, you specialize. That was the path back then. It was clear, it was structured, it was predictable. But today, medicine is no longer one path. It has become a platform. That is what medicine has transitioned to. It has become a platform. So we now have doctors who are working in the pharmaceutical industry. We have doctors who are working in the health technology industry or space. We have doctors in policy and governance, in global health, in research and innovation. We have doctors in entrepreneurship. And some are even building platforms, talk about businesses and influencing healthcare conversations across board. And perhaps you know some of them. So the profession has evolved over time, but the mindset hasn't evolved at the same pace. And that is the real gap that I'm talking about. It is what it's creating frustration. That is what is creating frustration across board. So, and this is how it does that. Many students, they are still entering medicine while thinking if I do this, everything will fall into place. That is the mindset with which they're getting into medicine. But the truth is, it no longer works like that. Many of them are not informed. So let's come back to the main question. Is studying medicine still worth it in 2026? Is it still worth it in 2026? The answer is not a simple yes or no. And this perhaps I present or suggest as an answer. The answer is yes, but only if you understand the new reality of medicine. Medicine is worth it if, number one, you are willing to adapt. If, number two, you are willing to think beyond the hospital. Number three, you are willing to build skills outside your degree. And number four, you are open to multiple paths. Because your degree alone, the MBCHP degree is no longer enough, or the MBBS degree is no longer enough. And let me say that again. Your degree opens the door. That is what it does. It is the key that opens the door. But your mindset, your skills, and your positioning will determine how far you go once the door has been opened. So if you enter medicine expecting a straight path, a guaranteed employment, an automatic stability, you'll struggle big time. That I guarantee you. You'll struggle big time. And it's not because you're not good enough, but because the system has since changed. That is the difference. But if you enter medicine understanding that it is a foundation, number one, number two, a platform, number three, a starting point, then you can build something powerful out of that particular degree that will be awarded at the end of your study. It could be 5 years, 5 years. At the end of your study, you'll be awarded a degree, and that degree will mean something to you. And this is where I want to challenge you as an individual. I want you to stop asking, what job will I get after studying medicine? And start asking yourself, what value can I create after studying medicine? Because healthcare is evolving and it is doing so at a very fast pace. And the people who will thrive are not just the most qualified, they're the most adaptable people. People are able to adapt in different circumstances, adapt in different environments, and they understand systems. They learn new skills. These are the people who will be able to thrive. They position themselves strategically in spaces that matter. They don't just follow the traditional path or follow people, but they expand the traditional path. So if that is you, or you are a student or already in the journey of studying medicine, I want to encourage you that you go in with your eyes wide open. Understand the system. Start early to understand the system, then build beyond your degree. Think beyond your degree, your primary degree of medicine, because medicine is still worth it. I'll emphasize that message, that medicine is still worth it, but not in the way that you were told when you're getting into medical school. And maybe the real question is not, is medicine still worth it? But the real question could be, or can be rephrased a better way, and ask, am I prepared for what medicine has become? That should be the real question. You can rephrase your question too. And if this resonates with you, I want to hear from you. If this resonates with you, I want to hear from you. Do you still believe that medicine is worth it in the current dispensation? Or do you think the narrative needs to change? What is your thought? Let me know in the comment section, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.